right, man. Church talk. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
I want to get into this real quick. I want to talk about we just gotta be mindful of what we say on this one because they will flag this joint.
Okay.
So this is like, I mean, just say instead of saying, C19,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Y'all know what we talking about. But we basically ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna just talk about the mandates. So let me explain what happened real quick. So Kyrie Irving, he just got allowed to play at home games.
Right.
And the issue I had with that whole mandate was everybody in the whole stadium didn't have to be vaccinated. They could have been unvaccinated.
Right.
The away team didn't have to be vaccinated, and Kyrie Irving he can play at any other stadium or anywhere else or any other joint, but he couldn't play home. And the reason why they said that he couldn't play home is because he was unvaccinated and he was endangering the other players. So,
but he could come to the games with no mask and watch it from the bench.
He got
How does that make sense?
He got fined $50,000 for going into the locker room with the players because they said that, well, not him, the team got fined. They said because he was endangering and putting people in harm's way. So let me get this right. I just want to understand this. The whole stadium unmasked,
right,
and don't have to be vaccinated,
right.
But he goes into the locker room and he is putting people in danger.
That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense because if that's the case, he would have put him in danger on the away games.
On the bench when he's sitting there with no mask.
Not even that. Just on the away games when he's playing with the team.
He's going to the locker room with them.
So the whole thing didn't make no sense to me. If anything, I'm like, why don't y'all just test him every game or after every so often? You know what I mean? And let him play both games. Just having them play part-time was a dumbass idea to me.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Even if they tested him, they're testing him for C19, right? They testing him for that, right? But they get vaccinated, he can still get C19,
right?
So what's the point of testing him every week when you can still get it and still spread?
Because they looking at it like everybody else did. Everybody else took the, you know what I'm saying?
So it's about control then.
Pretty much, but the whole mandate thing that was for the city. So I think the people that came to the games had to have the. I'm not sure.
Nah, not no more. Nope.
Not no more?
No, they didn't have to have the card. No.
Or just from the beginning?
No, they could walk in here with no card. Nothing.
Oh, wow. Then it really doesn't make any sense.
That's what everybody's saying.
So I'm glad that they corrected that because it makes no sense at all. How are you going to tell me that I can't play, but I could come to the game with no mask, no nothing? That don't even make no sense.
That just lets me know that it's about control when it comes to certain things.
It definitely is.
The new mayor was named Eric Adams, black dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of about control. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault because he just walked into the office. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be all his fault. But my problem is, logically, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you only doing that just to flex your muscle. You should have just said, nah, he let him play. He could get tested every week, but let him play.
I don't know whose fault is that. Is it the NBA's fault or is it the people at
the city? The
city?
It's no. We fought like what? What do you mean?
Like as far as like that whole I know the mandate, but the rules as far as playing and anything else like that. Who that fall on?
The city supersedes the league.
So
the city, if the city says, well, this building is condemned, you can't come in here, then they can't play games in there.
Okay.
That's the same thing they did when they all had to go play in Florida.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The bubble.
And they're playing the bubble, whatever, which made no sense to me. But still in all, like
it is what it was.
Come on.
I mean, from at that time it was it was kind of serious. It was kind of getting crazy and people didn't know what was going on, so they had to do that. But nowadays, I think people got a little hold on it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't make any sense. And now I'm glad that they corrected it. I'm glad that he's able to play all the games and he held out on his principles, which is, he got a lot of flack for that, especially from like people like Stephen A. Smith and Everybody saying he's selfish, and it's like, listen, man, I'm going by, he has rights. He might have not got it for religious reasons or whatever. He didn't go into it, but he has rights as a player, as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a job can't force you to, well, they trying to, but they really shouldn't force you to do these certain things. If I don't want the vaccine, then I shouldn't have to take it.
My biggest issue is,
it ain't gonna stop me from getting money, but go ahead.
My biggest issue with that whole thing is everybody's saying that they don't want government control. Everybody's saying that they don't want government in their lives.
Right.
But now everybody's saying that you should be mandated to take that. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference between holding somebody down and making them and putting pills in their mouth. It's no different.
Yeah, I feel you.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm saying, especially when you talking about people's livelihoods here, like when you talking about people that work in the healthcare system or people that just work around people in general.
But they didn't do. Here's the thing. They only do it because the higher ups wanted it that way, right. And these pharmaceutical companies that made these vaccines, they need to be paid, and they need this stuff to be used. Right. So they're gonna tell you, but they don't run nothing. It's just the government side of it. But I guess my issue is the biasness of it. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue is, like, we all saying, us as black people always saying we don't like government control, but then you got people like Stephen A. Smith saying, just take the vaccine. Right. Well, make a motherfucker, whatever. Like, that's like me telling Stephen A. Smith, like, well, just smoke the drugs, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want it in your body. Or just drink the drink. You don't want it in your body. If that man don't, listen, this is the reason why we live in the United States. We got the choice to do that. Right. It might be harsh, or it might affect other people, whatever, but guess what? It is what it is.
And he took a stance, man, and it cost him a lot of money. So
but
he stood by what he believed in, and that's a good thing to me. It should be commended. But when it comes to these things, everybody has a take on it. Everybody has their view on certain things, and it's, to me, it's like, if you damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, if you go along with everything, then you know what I mean. You're like, all right. But if I don't go along with it and I choose my personal, now it's like I got to go through all this scrutiny. Why not take the thing? Everybody else did. Now you're costing the team. The team. Dog, this is my life you talking about. This is, what if I know people that took certain things and got messed up by it? You acting like this shit don't happen. This shit is documented that it happened. You know what I'm saying? So how you know? Like, come on, nobody knew about this stuff. It's still fairly new. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he just, I feel like he stood his ground, and I think he should be commended for that. And it's funny that this rollback mandate, they rolled it back as soon as the playoffs is about to start. The Nets is on the brink of not making it. So now they're like, oh, yeah, he can play. Put him back funny as hell, man.
Put him back in the game. Hey, man, look, man. Torture talk.
Torture talk, man.
Congratulations to that man getting his spot
Kyrie,
back.
man. Let's get it, man.
You know what I mean?
I don't like the Nets, but